Hello, good afternoon. Lovely to see you. I know others are joining, and sorry about the what was going on. My computer was having an update. We're a whole 5 minutes late, but we'll still keep this to 30 minutes because I'm going to need it. This is a bit of a follow on from. Oh, I'm Lisa Ware, by the way, senior group leader. Okay, nice to see you. This is a regular coaching that's every Tuesday, 4:30, and I do upload it to the groups, the chats. And also it uploads to YouTube. So you can go on YouTube and you can type in Yessave Team Coaching and you will always find, I think there's somewhere like about 300 of them there now. Okay, all different sort of subjects. So this is a follow on from last week, a little bit about stuff. I'm not going to say this is about motivational. Okay. What I would advocate to all of you, if you haven't yet, if you didn't go on the Sunday night big night in and you haven't yet watched one of the replays, for which there are loads and loads and loads, then I suggest you do. And although it's an actual live that was recorded at the mastermind event in Sofia, and it was about 2 years ago, I think it has such relevance that many people will find it very, very helpful. And I've got to say, although I did see it originally, I have to say, out on my power walk this morning, I was actually playing it as I was going along. And I found myself getting speedier and speedier because I found it very, very good on a replay, realizing how much time you can waste with many people that zap our energy and they mean well, but they're not really doing because the only thing that matters, as I emphasized last week, there is one activity more than any other, and that is picking up the phone and making calls. And that is the one thing that is going to get you in front of prospects to show them what we do. And listen, I have my moments too, and I'm just going to share this. Today was all about making calls, and I came in, I found many things to do, but then there comes a point where, come on, Lisa, get a grip, girl. Come on, do this thing. And actually, I always find as soon as I've made a couple, I don't know why I procrastinated for so long because effectively I've never ever really had anyone be rude to me at all. And in fact, I've had a few still no for nows. I've had somebody that's actually seriously now thinking, yeah, they like it. And actually, I really, really enjoyed it. So I can see Roz is saying, how can I get Lisa's attention? You can get in. I know you can. It is, otherwise you guys wouldn't be there. Right, I've got to carry on. So look, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And let's do this. Why am I being told the passcode is incorrect? It's Yessave, isn't it? And it's capital Y-E-S, capital S-A-V-E, capital
I
F-E-B.
had to go in all my different Zooms, Lisa. I really struggled. I even struggled on my tablet, on my cell phone, but eventually I got on.
Yeah, it's Yessave. They just
I
need to do
struggled. I
it.
struggled as well, but I got in the end.
Right. I'm going to carry on. Now, look, I think you can see that it says dashboard. And this is my dashboard, guys, down here. All right, it's me. So we've all got a similar dashboard, okay? Some it might look slightly different depending on how long you've been in. But what I want to do is I've realized there's a lot of people don't really know a lot about what's available here. So I'm going to show you some stuff because I think if you know where to go and go there quickly, you might do it more often. That will help. So the first thing I want to do is share with you. I've done the events, I've done that, but I want to share with you. Can you see news at the very bottom? of the drop-down box. Now,
Yeah.
let me click that. I want to show you, sorry, I'm just moving everybody over. I want to show you that there's all. That means it includes tips and tools, rewards and recognition, product and saving updates. So all is pretty good, but let's talk about products and services. Okay, so I've clicked that. And what you'll see is it says top of the tree here, beat the price cap, help customers fix and save. Now, if you click on this, it will bring up all about it. And it actually gives you some really good graphs. All right, useful stuff. Okay, really useful stuff. Look at that. There's the competition. So I want you to see how good we are. Okay, all right. There's all sorts of information because the problem I know is a lot of people don't do anything until they feel they know things, which is a shame because actually, you know, in truth, like I've done a few uh I've been making calls and I've been having a quick look at the sort of savings I can make folk. And in fact, um there is a guy who's I've been with the company possibly 20 years. Whenever I move, I use them for my drapes, my blinds, and all of that. And they're called drapes and blinds. I wouldn't go anywhere else because I like the customer service and everything. And I rang the guy that now is the chap that does all the fitting. And I'm explaining this to you because he's one of those people that kind of can't be shown. Do you meet people like I do that they're with Virgin and there ain't no way he said he would ever switch? Okay. So I started it off with, it's all right, Alex, I said, the blinds are all working perfectly because we've got them on electric and you recharge them. So I could hear his he calmed down because I think he was worried that he had another trip to come. And I said, no, look, I said, when I was with you last, we had a chat. And I said, I'm totally aware that there is no way, in your opinion, that you'll consider moving from Virgin. So I've left that out. And you know, when you're at the end of the phone, you can hear somebody kind of relax a bit. Yeah. And I said, but you might want to know that full fibre is at your property. And there is 900 meg that could service a company with about 500 employees. And it's only £40 a month. And I know, hand on heart, you're paying a lot more than that with Virgin. I said, but I'm going to send you some information that might help you. Perhaps just rethink it. So I've sent him things like the ISP preview that shows that we have the least number of dropouts. I sent him best broadband, which I sent him best energy, which Citizens Advice Bureau, customer service, stuff like that. So I've sent all that. And then I did a bit of a quick quote. And here this guy's £1,332 saving without cash back. And that is only 2 mobiles and his energy. I think that's huge. Now that does incorporate the 150 on the cashback card, but that's free money. So I've done some calls, and as soon as I start doing calls, I find I feel better. What I didn't do myself is look at all this, but I do know it's there. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to say this is a top tip. You might think you need to know everything before you get going. And if you watch The Big Night In, you'll realise these people are in the D's. All right, quite funny. Yeah, they're in the D's. And if you've watched it, you know what I'm on about. Okay. But you don't need to know all this stuff. It's handy. It's really handy, but it's there. All right. So there's lots of stuff. So if I now go back, and then it says here that our prices are changing. Oh, get ready, guys. All the greens are going to go absolutely insane now. Yes, we're going up, but in relation to everybody else, they're going up. It is what it is. Okay. And they give us a little chart so you can have peace of mind that although we're going up, we're still cheaper. All right. So actually, what you have to say to yourself, that's a price increase. Okay. But you've got to say to yourself, remember, they're already more expensive. So pro rata, we're actually even cheaper. So I see it as a positive. Mobile, it's giving you ideas. Okay. All right. So there's all this stuff here. Now let's go back to the beginning. Rewards and recognition. This is good stuff. This is positive stuff. Have a look at the midsummer event if you haven't. It's really great. All right. Have a look at all of that. And tips and tools. Now, for some of you, this might be really useful. I don't do any of this social media stuff, none. Personally, I don't want artificial intelligence teaching me how to have a conversation. That's up to you. What I do think is useful for all of you, please make a note of this. The quickest way to see what's going on this week, training coming up. Can you see that? Every week it's there. And what it does, look, guys, it actually lists exactly what's there. How good is that? So you can see what's happening this week. Different things going on. So that's also useful. I want you to think about this. If you've got team and you know your team quite well, you have to say to yourself, what do they need? And you know what? You can very quickly direct them that, oh, guess what? Later on at 6:30, there's getting multi-service customers. And there's also a getting to GL if you're a senior team leader or a team leader that's almost SGL. Nice one there for you, Gemma, getting to GL. Yeah. Right, there's all sorts of stuff. It's useful. It is useful. Now, quick links over on the drop-down box. Okay, here we go. Quick links. Do you ever find yourself in a bit of a faff and you're thinking, oh, where do I get this? How do I send this to somebody? Under quick links, there it is. Copy link, and you can send it to someone. So if you want somebody to become a connector, there you are. You can copy that, send it to them. And then there is a connector presentation, the appointment presentation, UW opportunity videos. There's all sorts. Really useful stuff. Very useful. I'd say really important. Because I tell you why I say this is I never cease to be amazed at how many people actually individually say to me, where can I find this? Where can I find that? Right. Learning and training, that's a whole subject for another day. All right, that's another one altogether. But what I want to do is I want to show you things that I know you don't know about. So, can you see my business? Now, this is my business, but you've got your business, okay? So, I'm going to show you this. Now, team, there's no point in me clicking on that because mine is something like 180 pages, all right? We can't go through it. It would take too long, okay? But I think what is important for you to see, customers. Let's show you that. Now, again, I've got about 600 pages of this, okay? In fact, I think there's more than that because I've got 700 odd customers. But what it shows here, these are the ones that could be partly in transition. And when they are, can you see there's a little circle showing a virtuous sort of like arrow going round? So this at the moment is a couple that I signed up on the 9th of January. And I know about this because they've taken energy, 2 unlimited SIMs, but we're having extreme problems with the gas. That's why that's still like that all these days later, because basically they've got a gas meter that I haven't seen for probably 20 years. It's so old. And it's all wrong on the national database, and we're trying to sort it out. And then there'll be, there's another one. So here's one that's happening. The line, this is the landline, is happening. All right. And then as you go down, oh, look, we've got some more here. So this actually has happened, and that will update any moment. All right. And anybody know her name, you'll know that's my daughter. All right. So they've got everything. They've come away from the old, and they're now on full fiber. Okay. And as you see, it's everything. There's energy, there's mobiles, there's fiber, cashback card, and home insurance. So lots of stuff, lots of stuff. And then if I go down, there's just loads of them. Well, I can't keep going, guys, because in truth, there's pages and pages and pages, but that is your customers. Now, that's different to, let me show you, to customer order status, the one underneath. So let me explain, because I think some of you don't know what all this means. You could have some that just says a name. And if you look at this one, it says join the 23rd of March, 2021. And you're probably thinking, well, what's that all about? That's a home move. All right, that's an actual home move that's happening. So all these people here, I get a lot of home moves because I've got a lot of customers. So when there's nothing listed, okay, it's a home move that's going on. Okay. Now, this one here. Look at this. Joined on the 24th of May, 2011. By the way, I can show you this because there is no detail. You can't just find these people. All right. And as you can see, I haven't had anything to do with this. They're actually taking phone and broadband and adding it to what they've got. That's nice. In fact, if you were at the Bournemouth Buzz, you would have heard Rob Barras saying some of this. I mean, that's a long time ago, isn't it? 2011. And there's some more here. And then there's people, here we are, people that are adding stuff. I've not been part of it. Okay, this gentleman here, he joined me back in 2020 in lockdown. He's now just adding full fibre to his stuff. There's lots of things here. Now this one, they've cancelled this, but I've got, because I know these two very well, and I've got a feeling I've got to do a little bit of intervention there because I know that there's full fibre available. So I will talk. So look, this is all stuff, right, that is happening. In other words, now yellow means it's kind of like a bit of a tension, you know, or it's in progress. Green means it's happened. Red, definitely get involved. Okay, does that make that a little bit clearer, a bit more understanding? Yeah. So now I'm going to go down to the big one. Oh, let's go to new team members. Right. So let's show you. So this is me. Now I've brought in a chap who at the moment, he's done all his stuff, but please look, I'm going a bit ape here. And he knows I am because I'm phoning him most days. And I'm saying, you are leaving this really fine line, 12 days left. Now, it can be done, 6 customers and a partner. It could be done in a couple of days. It could be done in a day if you wanted it. And he keeps saying, yes, I've got something going on. I've got somebody here that just hasn't got on and done their identity verification. Somebody here with 2 customers. She's like come to a bit of a halt. Someone else with 2. He's actually doing stuff. Somebody might, I hope she don't mind me showing you. But not only did she do QD star, actually, Leslie, I don't know why it doesn't show it, but she's actually SQD as well. Somebody that never got going. Somebody that's now on 11 customers, got a partner. So they're an SQD. Got 3, sitting on 12, and so forth. All right. So that's a very useful thing to know instantly where you are with your new partners. So now I'm going to go down to something called recognition. And you will sometimes see me send out little messages which says, I'm really sorry, I can't do recognition because there seems to be a glitch on the system. And this can be very hard at times. And by the very nature of I understand IT tech, it is what it is. It happens. So I'm going to show you something now, really clever, all right, which you may not know. Now, remember, we're looking at this at the moment on a laptop. You're seeing the generic site. This isn't on my app. This is on the partner portal. I'm in there. So see up here, show data for. So if we click that, we can go yesterday. This is what I do each day. So when I'm that nutter and you see stuff happening about 6 o'clock in the morning, this is me. Okay. Now, this is about yesterday. So notice it's from the 16th of Feb to the 16th. Now let's click it. And I hope the people won't mind that I am revealing. But it says promotion, it's not. You see when it's a pale purple and it says D, these are people that have been recruited. Because if you roll down to the recruiters, all right, you'll see, I clicked on those, these are the recruiters of these people. So if I click on, for example, Emma Smith, in the profile, which I'm on, there we are, GL Shelley Barker, and she's already placed. Okay, so there you are. That is brought in yesterday. Okay, now let's us move us out the way. I now see my arrow up here on there. If I go back, it will take me back one page on there. So I'm going to go back again to yesterday. So that explains those. Okay. Now, if there was somebody that had something else, I'll show you that in a moment, that would be a promotion. Customer gatherers yesterday. Well, we've got Laura, who's actually a future team leader. She got 2. There's a guy called Anthony Williams who got 1. Daniel Atobo got 1. Elena Atanasova got 1. And Anna Brooks Rowley got 1. This is only what happened yesterday. And then we've got recruiters, and there wasn't any supporting. Okay. So let's take a look, for example, at Anna Brooks Rowley. Let's click on her name. Now we're going to get some stuff. So she was recruited by Shelley Barker. She's direct to Shelley Barker. Shelley is our first group leader, and I'm a senior group leader. All right. Now, down here, it only ever says, I don't know why, I have no idea, it only ever says future team leader. Actually, she's a senior team leader. All right. But if we go to personal, Anna is a very consistent, high quality customer gatherer. And as you can see, she's sitting on 139. If I click the profile, I want you to see tenancy is good, 19.17. That's good. That's low. All right. Go back there. So in her team, there are 96 partners. Now, that doesn't mean she personally brought in 96, because some people, like Shelley and I, we've placed partners in our group. Okay. And then some of her team have brought in partners. Does that all make sense? Hopefully. Group customers, 548. Proof this works. So she has 139, but there's 548 group. Group services is 1975 and personal live services 475. So let's show you what all this means. So can you see on the edge here, Feb 2006? So this month so far, she's brought in 3 customers, 13 services, and that's excellent. 3 cashback cards for the same 3 customers. Brilliant. In my personal opinion, it should always say a cashback card every time. Yeah. And interestingly enough, I want to show you something, guys. If you have a look, like last month, Anna brought in 1, and usually it's always 5 services is everything. So her quality is excellent, right? Now, what I want to show you is down here. And here's the customers. So there's only 2 home moves, and it shows the last 10. And there we go. Gathered, 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 gathered. So I now know the customers, but I'm going to show you something. How do I know if these are tenants? This is what you do. Are you ready? See progress. You click. Now it shows something else altogether here. And what you're looking at is this. So we're in February and she's already got 10 achiever points. Now you only get achiever effect on homeowners. You get nothing for tenants at all. So those 10 tell me those customers were homeowners. And as they come on in the months, I'm watching that increase. That's what I'm looking for. And she's got that. She's got the minimum in January. Sadly, she missed the minimum in December. She got November. She got September. All right. So I'm looking for this all the time. And then she's got a whopping 10 achiever points already now for the midsummer get together. All right. So I know that that is quality because that's made up from 3 customers. And remember, we only get achiever points, nothing on insurance, only on homeowners on mobile, up to 2 mobiles, energy and broadband. Okay. So that's how I know whether or not it's a homeowner. Okay. Now, I'm now going to show you something else now. I go back to my dashboard again, and I'm going to go back to business and back to recognition. I'm going to show you something really clever. You can do this yourselves if you want. So it says current month until today. So look, so we have got some achievements. This is great. Emma Score went QD star. Louise Knox gone SQD. And in fact, Louise has actually done, she's done 2 lots of things. And then here we are. Somebody called James Wadley has gone QD and Nigel Harper's gone QD. Please look at these. These are the new partners joining. All right. Here's customer gatherers. So top of the scores this month so far, Laura and Sophie Wright. By the way, Sophie is amazing. Sophie is a brand new partner. Okay. All right. So there you are. And then there we go. And then recruiters. So Susanna Fairbanks got 2. And these other people at the moment have got 1. And then there's the supporters, people supporting. Now, what I'm looking for lots of is recruiting and supporting. That's what I'm always looking for. That's the stuff that grows your business. So let's show you something else now. Oh, by the way, because I know this is important for you to see. So you see these supporters. So let's take, for example, myself. If I click there on me, my name, it brings up my bits and bobs. So this is my profile. So guys, here I'm spilling the beans on me. Look. Oh, look, I've got no achievements. Would you really believe that? I joined, look, 6th of November 2002. Now, I am proof you can have hundreds of customers and look at my tenancy, 10.36. Okay. But I want to show you personal. Now, I've dropped down. I'm on 678 personal. Okay. And that's 2,311 personal services, 75,222 group services. Guys, I earn 11 pence per service per customer per month. So if you do 75,222, you can work out what I'm earning. All right. It's quite easy. So if we take a look at me now, I want to show you something, guys, because I'm not prolific. All right. I am not prolific. But what I am is what I'm looking for others. I'm consistent. So if we look at December 24, 3 partners, 4 customers, a partner, 4, 6 customers gathered, 1, 4, 3, 3, 1, 4, 1. I am just consistent, really consistent. I didn't gather a partner in December, and you know what? It was the most heinous month of my life with everything going on. But as you can see, I am consistent. All right, I'm consistent. But now let me show you something really clever. This is good. Let's go back one thing, and you can do this. So see the current month and to today. This is good for you to see. Let's go back, say, should we do 2 years? So look, I'm going back, and I'm going to go back to, here we go, February 24 to today. And let's press apply. Okay. So this is good stuff. So now you can see in this period of time, we've got a QD star, an SQD, a QD star, a QD star. We've got a 50 plus club, another 50 plus, an SQD, a future team leader. We've got, that's you, Shalane, look, 20 plus club, future team leader, 50, 20, QD star, SQD, future team leader, 20, 50, QD star, 20. Oh, look at this. Isn't it great? Look, all this stuff going on. Isn't that great? Now look at the promotions. So we've got a senior team leader. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 TLs. Oh my God, loads of QDs. Isn't that great? Now, customer gatherers, look at this. She's prolific. Shelley, 136 customers. There's me, Miss Consistency, not top, 86. Stuart Simpson in Scotland, 65. Yusuf Ademola Onikoye, I can actually say that, I've learnt to say it, 48, and so forth. All right, so we've got customer gathering going on. Now, recruiters. Oh, wow. Shelley, look at that, 81. Marvellous. There's me with my 61. Yeah, I've got an SGL called Susie Moon. She's on 61. So this is the stuff. This is what I'm looking for. Now look at this. If we go down, sorry, there's lots and lots of people here. Now supporting. So wrongly, I'm going to say this, I shouldn't be the top supporter. I'd much rather my team was top supporting. Okay, much rather. Yeah. So look, you can play around with this, and if you wanted to, you could go back to the day you joined and put it in and have a look. Because when you're feeling a little bit down, as we sometimes do, all right, and I'm going to share this with you, if you're feeling a bit down and thinking nothing's happening, go back to the beginning and have a look and see what's happened, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. We don't all work at the same pace, and that is real. That's normal. Do we not have life challenges? Yes, we do. All of us, okay? And some of them can last for a long time and some can be for a short time, okay? And that's normal. But shall I tell you why I think UW is so brilliant? Because it's very forgiving. If you took, for example, let's give you an idea. Let's take Rob. Rob took 6 years out. He stopped. He stopped. And then he got going. In that intervening 6 years, and he doesn't mind me saying this because he says it to everyone, every so often, about once every 3 to 6 months, Steve Critchley, who recruited him, would give him a call. How you doing, Rob? Learn from this, guys. How's it going? Now, he had a car cleaning business. Some of you may know this. He was the boss, but he still actually got his hands dirty. And each time that Mr. Critchley, this is important for you to know, rang, what was happening was his life wasn't getting better. And actually, he was getting some serious physical problems. And he was told by the doctor, you've got to give this up, otherwise you'll give up. And he got going. And little did I know that I met him 3 months into when he got going. He was a senior team leader then, and I didn't know that. Doesn't matter, does it? But what I want to say to you is, what job or what anything else would allow you to give up for 6 years? And he got paid every single month. He got paid every single month. So I think that's amazing. So if you're having a bad patch, please, we all do, but it doesn't matter. But now I've shown you something that you can understand a little bit more of what's going on. Okay. And you can look at your team. Now, you are not to keep pestering people that obviously don't want to get going. All right. That's just stupid. But you can make some nice calls to some people. And I suggest only do about 2 a week, right? I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds. Believe me, I don't spend my time ringing everyone. But there are people that do come back in the fold. And I'm looking for activity. I'm not looking for actions speak louder than words. Is that true? Yeah, that's the reality. So, do you think knowing a little bit more about that recognition section and all those bits, does that help a little bit more? Put things in perspective? Because we can look at other stuff another week, but I think people didn't know how to tell what's a homeowner and what isn't. And that I actually, an SGL revealed that to me at the Bournemouth Buzz last week. And I thought, gee whiz, I can't believe you didn't know that, because that stuff's good. All right. So, guys, look, it's time up. It's recorded, and I'll see you this time next week. And I have got a note that some people have asked for specific subjects, and I promise I'll do them. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.